So we are going to go through on this video a couple chest shoulder openers and also things that release the neck. So any of these routines I think are amazing, and I will eventually get to the point to teach you the wall variations, but we're going to do all of these on the ground today, and we're going to be using just the gold ball. We're going to start with side lying routines. So a lot of the Yamuna body rolling routines will start at a bony landmark and move sometimes just through one specific muscle. When we do the side lying routines, we're going to be going through a wide variety of muscles. And the main intention is going to be to create some length through the side. Now, for most of us, no matter what we're doing, whether we're working in front of a computer, we're driving, we're taking care of kids, we're preparing food, we're in this kind of down and forward posture all day long, right? There's not too many things that have us reaching overhead, but we want to maintain this ability, right, for us to be able to bring our arms up over the head, because tasks do still come around when we need to do those things. And so when we then have to do a task at home where we need to change a light bulb or reach something down from a shelf, right, and we never make this movement again, that's where we run into things like people tearing their rotator cuffs and so on, because the shoulder gets kind of glued down into such a fixed space that when we need some of these small muscles to be able to move within the joint, they're not able to do so. So we want to continue to maintain space. It's interesting to me because even though we're going to roll up through the sides and kind of really create length through here, for me, these routines always have the effect of kind of dropping and releasing my shoulders down and back. So if you're like me, all of my life, often I'm here. I wish I had $1 for every time my mom said straighten up, right? So then when we go to straighten up, where do we end up? We end up back here, but we end up back here through the action of really crunching those muscles in the back. You will be amazed as you do these routines how much the shoulders will just fall back in the joint where they need to, instead of you having to kind of fight against your body to bring them back in space. So we're going to start with the side lying routine, and like I said, we're going to move rib cage. We're going to be up underneath the arm. You're going to feel very easily these pec muscles in the front. We're going to be able to create some length there as we press the ball into that. You'll also be able to feel lats and serratus, and then some of the muscles that make the back side of the rotator cuff. We will be extending the ball out onto the arm and getting a little bit into tricep and bicep. And after we do that side lying routine, we're going to do some chest and neck routines. So we can work the sideline all the way down the leg and up through the side of the body, but for these purposes today, we're just going to do kind of upper body and up. So there's a couple no-nos in the Yamuna body rolling world about what not to put pressure on. And one of the things that we don't want to do is put our body weight down onto our floating ribs. So what are our floating ribs? We have very low down on our back, and most people, to be honest, are not going to be able to feel where these ribs are. A lot of people, our backs are kind of so compressed that our ribs are actually starting to drop into our pelvis. But for some of you, you may be able to find a space between your iliac crest. So your iliac crest is the top of your hip bone. You can feel a space between that and then where you can actually start to palpate your ribs. We just don't want to put a lot of body weight down here on these lower ribs. They do start to become connected to cartilage and then into your sternum, but they are just small and fragile. So the easiest way to know where to start these rib cage routines is to simply put your hand on the top of your iliac crest and then place the ball above your hand. So I'm going to start my ball right about here. We're going to be moving the body in the direction of the feet, so make sure you have room in the direction of your feet. And we're simply going to come onto the ball. Now from here, I really want to create length through my entire body, right? So you can see I'm trying to put this straight line really coming all the way through and all the way long. Now for some of you, this may feel really unstable. So Let me talk you through a couple different positions. We can either put foot back here, we can put foot here. If you need to bend the knees in order to feel secure here, that is perfectly fine. Now from here with putting weight, I'm already releasing into the ball here. My arm's extended out long. If you feel comfortable, you can go ahead and come down onto your elbow with your head and your hand at this point. For me, I'm gonna stay up and lengthen because I love the way I feel like I'm getting this stretch all the way through. And we're just going to breathe. These sideline routines are an amazing opportunity to start to breathe fully into the rib cage. So Yamuna has been doing a ton of breath work. She's been actually offering breath work online, free, every morning, really with this thought of people purposefully breathing, right? Purposefully focusing and strengthening their lungs, right? When has this ever been so important to people as it has been right now with what we're currently working with in the world? So we're breathing into the rib cage, and then from here, again, weight is down into the ball. If this feels super sensitive, push into the floor with your hands, right? If this is just ooh, ick, push into the floor with your hands, right? This is an area for some people, the only time they get touched in this spot is when someone tickles them and they hate it. So it's not unusual for this to be unpleasant. But from here, we're gonna shift in the direction of the feet. So we just scooted down. I'm still lengthening through this bottom leg. And then from here, I'm just gonna let my head release down onto the ball. So the ball is at the level of the breast for me. And I'm just breathing, right? I'm trying to let as much weight go into the ball as I can, keeping the body long, right? This is using some core and some stability just to stay straight like this, right? So this is a little bit of a core challenge. If you're not able to stay like this, again, foot here for more support, hand in the front of the body is support. But if you're wanting that challenge, you can balance, right? You can even bring this arm up here out of the way or down by your side. Head is just relaxed and we're breathing, inhaling as we inhale. Rib cage expands out into the ball as we exhale. Right, body sinks down into the ball. I'm going to shift in the direction of the foot again. At this point, I'm starting to come into the armpit. So not that our armpit really has a bottom and a top, but when you reach your arm over your head, you can kind of imagine what the bottom and the top of your armpit is, right? Bottom of the armpit is like the ball is just starting to sneak off to the rib cage, kind of into that pit of the arm. And I usually think of top of the armpit when the ball's starting to roll out there into the arm. From here, I like to just take my other hand and just rest it on my shoulder and let my head rest down. Now, for some people, this is going to be way too intense, okay? If this is intense, keep your head supported with your hand, okay? And keep this arm down here into the ground a little bit to modulate this. So you can see I press elbow into the ground, it lifts me up a little bit. I release elbow and lengthen arm and I sink into the ball even more, right? I release the head onto the shoulder, I sink even more. And if I can, again, entire body stays long, reaching through these fingertips, right? Or thinking that you can get yourself as long as possible and breathe. As you breathe, imagine that you could breathe directly into the armpit. On your next exhale, shift in the direction of your feet again. So now we're going to bring the ball right into the center of the armpit, right? So you can imagine almost like your pec and your lats and the muscles around the shoulder are kind of like just creating a hat right on top of the ball, right? The ball is just sinking up into the armpit and you're just releasing, right? As we release though, we're still maintaining length, right? So we're not releasing and collapsing, right? And rounding forward. We're keeping length in the torso. We're reaching through the arm if we can, reaching through this lower leg if we can. Again, knee can be in any position. And if this is too intense, keep that elbow down, keep your head off the shoulder, right? That takes some of the intensity, takes some of the pressure out. From here, we're gonna shift again, ball starting to come into the arm. Now, as the ball starts to come into the top of the arm, for some people, they're going to start to get maybe pins and needles or weird sensations in the arms, okay? If it's really intense and you just can't take it, then please, again, take some of that pressure out and just back out of the pose a little bit. If it's just mild, it will start to pass. The more you do this routines and the more it starts to release things. So often these are just small peripheral nerves that have kind of gotten tangled up in the fascia. As we start to release things, these things will start to go away. We're not going to stay down here in the arm very long. Again, this can be really intense. We're going to continue to move forward. From here, we are going to rotate the arm a little bit just to kind of loosen up some of this tissue at the top of the arm. So from here, we're going to rotate the chest up. Arm is going to rotate. Palm is going to face the ceiling. Again, you can let the head just release back onto the arm, or you can keep the head supported with the hand reaching through the arm long. Ball is in the tricep. From here, we're going to spin. We're rotating again. Chest is starting to rotate down towards the floor. Palm is rotating. Palm is rotating down to the ground and continues on to rotate to face the wall behind you. Sink down. Ball is now into the bicep. And then from here, come back to where we started. Take another breath here. And then from here, I think usually the most comfortable thing to do is just to simply roll off the ball behind you. So you're going to roll to your backside, pause for a moment, and just take some breaths here and notice the difference between one side and the other. For me, when I do these routines, I feel my right side now not only feels like the shoulder is just sinking and released into the ground, but I feel this openness in the front, in the back of my rib cage, where it's like I can just breathe through the right side of my body now, and my left side of my body feels collapsed. From here, turn onto your side, press yourself up to sitting, and we will do the other side. So moving on to the other side, we're going to repeat the exact same thing that we just did. So again, giving yourself plenty of room to move in the direction of your feet. We're going to find that iliac crest, place a hand on top of the iliac crest so that we don't come down on our lower rib cage. And we are just going to come onto the ball. Again, you can use this as a little bit of a core challenge. You may find that you felt completely stable on one side, and then on this side, you just feel totally all wavy and you need this support. Again, perfectly fine to have this back leg supporting here, back leg supporting here, or legs stacked. Either way, you really want to think about lengthening. Now I'm going to start up a little bit here, and this is just me wanting to create a little bit more space through this side. It is perfectly fine to start down here on the elbow. Again, there is a lateral side routine for down through the hips and down through the legs. In fact, you can go all the way along the entire lateral line, but we're just focusing on upper body today. Here, starting to sink in. As I stay here a little longer, I'm going to start to come down onto the ball. Start to get my ribs comfortable with having that pressure. And we're breathing. Take this opportunity to focus on your breath, to improve the quality of your breath, to feel your rib cage moving, right? For most of us, when we're anxious, all of our breath is up here, right? We're just using our muscles in our upper chest for chest breathing. If you can, take the time actually and breathe through your nose, right? Breathing through our nose, we know automatically helps us get our diaphragm working a little bit more, the muscle which we want to be using to breathe. And from here, we're just going to slide in the direction of our feet. So again, either legs stay stacked, arms reaching out long. You can support the head. If reaching out long, again, feels really unstable and you just want, again, a place to rest your head, then coming down onto the elbow here is perfectly fine. And breathing, every inhale, imagine that it's almost like a tube could connect from your nose. You bring the air in and it goes right to the ball. On the inhale, the rib cage expands out to the ball. On the exhale, body sinks into the ball and the air comes back out. So just visualize this healing breath coming back and forth between the area that the ball is making connection on the body. And breathe. Again, from here, shift in the direction of the feet. Ball is coming to what I would call the bottom of the armpit, right? So it's behind my breast tissue, behind the pec. From here, I like to go ahead and extend the arm long. I take my right hand then and kind of make a pillow and let my head rest down on my arm. Again, if this is too much tension for you, stay here. Keep the head up and support it with the hand, or stay up on the elbow, right? But if you can tolerate the pressure and it feels good, and you have good mobility of your arm over your head, then just stay here and release. This is a great routine for watching TV. So I almost always keep a ball. I don't watch a lot of television, but when I do, I like to watch the Chiefs. I like to watch, some movies and stuff. I always keep one of these balls in my TV room, and I will often do this type of routine while I'm watching the television. This is just great because you're just on your side anyway. It's even like a comfortable TV watching position, especially here, right? So this is a good one that you can multitask with. And from here, shifting forward, at this point, the ball is in the armpit. So ball's in the armpit. Again, body is reaching long if you can, especially this lower leg, feeling this entire lateral line all the way through the heel, right? Top leg can come up here. It can come to the front if it needs to. If you need to, you can bend your knees. Again, variations up here at the top. Arm is either out long, arm is bent here, supporting neck if you need to, even pressing down with the hand in front of you to get some tension out of the ball if this is too intense. So this is where these gold balls are just beautiful, right? They're huge, they're soft, they create these big spaces in the body. So it's hard, I think, when I tell people that gold balls are beginner balls, because they are beginner, but even with like the smallest, firmest anything, you can't get this same sensation of openness that you get with this large soft ball. And you can even feel, though we're not doing this variation today, you roll forward just a little bit, the ball moves into the pec, right? We open the chest a little bit, ball moves into the back of the shoulder. We're just staying here in the center line. From here, move in the direction of the feet. Ball's now coming into the top of the armpit, right? So for here, for some of you, this ball is going to start reaching the arm up, right? May start to create some abnormal sensations in the hands. Again, back off a little bit if you need to. If you can stay there, then do, okay? This is not going to harm you. If you're feeling some kind of pins and needles or something that feels a little nervy here, right? There's not gonna be harm in this. I wouldn't necessarily lean into it, but it's very common. Breathing here, finding length, right? Reaching through those fingertips if your arm's extended, right? Reaching, finding length all through the side of the ribs here. Finding length in the front of the body, finding length in the back of the body. Nice, long, steady breaths through the nose. And then again, moving down in the direction of the feet. Ball is now on the actual humerus, on the arm. From here, we're going to rotate. So we're going to rotate the chest up towards the ceiling. Palm is going to rotate and move towards the ceiling. You can support the head with your hand. Ball is on the tricep. From here, we're going to spiral the chest back down towards the ground. Arm is going to rotate. Palm is going to face down to the ground, then continue to rotate. Palm is then facing the back wall of the room that you're in, and ball is in the bicep. Then from here, go ahead and roll back to center. So you can stay here and do that variation over and over again, just to loosen some of the tension in the top of the arm, right? All that tension right there below the shoulder plays a really nice tug of war with your traps. So the next time your traps are feeling really tight, get up in this space and kind of rotate and move through the top of those arm muscles. You'll feel a huge release, usually all the way up through the neck and the head. And then from here, to come off the ball, we're simply just going to roll onto our back, moving the ball out of the way. Again, and just let your palms face up to the sky. Let the sacrum sink. Hopefully you're feeling so much more balanced now, and breathe. From here, go ahead and roll onto your side and press yourself up to sitting. So for me, after doing that routine, again, I have this feeling of the shoulders dropping back and down just naturally, right? I feel so much more open. If you didn't bring your arms up over your head before you started this, the movement that I have as I come through here profoundly changed. So now we're going to move through some chest openers and also the front of the neck. So to start with, I want to say a few things about sensations in the chest and then also breast tissue. So as women, we don't want to roll through breast tissue. For men, it's not necessarily relevant. So the best thing you can do is just kind of move your breast tissue out of the way. If you're home and the privacy of your own home, it's a great time to take a bra off. You know, we have muscles underneath our breast that we can never get to, right? And when we go to see a massage therapist, even if we have a massage therapist or a chiropractor who's comfortable and experienced with treating our chest wall muscles, they're still usually not really going to get in there. So these balls really offer us a chance to be able to treat the front of our chest and treat our pecs in a way that has been unfortunately neglected probably all of our lives, particularly as women. So feel free to get in there, but the point is that we're always going to go around breast tissue, okay? And I will say even kind of move your breast tissue out of the way to press the ball, but we're not going to roll right through it at any point, okay? So the first thing that we're going to do is just get used to the ball being on the sternum. I'm going to be kind of at an angle. There's not a lot of body movement in this routine, so you can simply just come down onto your mat. Get myself moved back here enough so that you can see me. All I am doing is I'm going to take the ball, I'm going to put it on my sternum, which is my breastbone, right? This hard plate right here in the middle. I'm going to bring it down as low as I can without being on my breast tissue. So it doesn't mean that you can't have any connection, you know, but we don't want to really smash it on there. So from here, I'm just going to sit here and sink. Now, for some people, this is going to be really unpleasant. Again, this area does not get a lot of contact. It is not uncommon for our skin to connect to connective tissue, to glue down to the bone in the front of our chest. So we want to get some blood flowing through here. For women, as we age, I know for me, I have a lot of sun damage in my chest. I'm very, I don't know what to say, I was kind of worried, like I don't want to be pulling on this delicate skin on my chest. I promise you, this is not going to make things look worse, if anything, because it starts to free up some of these areas that are kind of glued down over time. If anything, things will start to look better. We'll get more circulation there, kind of more blood flow, kind of get those muscles to plump up underneath the skin, and things will be good. If you have breast implants, again, sometimes if the implants are large enough, the ball is going to seem like it doesn't have much room to move, and that's fine. Please contact me if you feel like you can't do these chest routines at all. There is a softer, smaller ball called a pearl ball, and I will get one to you. So we're just breathing here. We can take our arms and reach them forward. See how that feels, right? That's going to give us a little bit of a stretch through our pecs. You can let your chin release down onto the ball and just let it relax, right? We're not having to fight anything here. For some of you, you may start to feel sensations through the back, okay? And some of these can be really sharp, right? Our ribs go all the way from the vertebrae in the back. They come all the way around and connect to the sternum. So sometimes we start to move the ribs from the front, and the sensation actually starts to occur in the back. So, and that is okay. Just stay with it and breathe. So at this point, I really want the ball below your collarbones, but above your breast tissue. I'm going to turn to face you, and we are going to roll out to one side of our chest and then roll out to the other side of the chest. So I'm going to roll out to my right first. So we're starting right at midline. I'm going to sink into the ball. The entire time that I'm sinking here, again, it's this sensation of lifting, right? It sounds weird to think, not lift as in pull away from the ball, but extending, I think, is the better way to think of it. So if you look at me from the side, you know, I'm not peeling up from the ball, but I'm here and I'm supported and I'm extending, meaning I'm imagining that I can get taller, okay? Entire time, yes, the chin can come onto the ball if you want it to, but I also don't want the head here and extend it. If you see me extending the neck, it's usually because I'm trying to look at you while I'm doing these routines. So from here, we're on the ball. Right arm is going to extend out to the side. We are going to shift our body to the left, keeping our weight on the ball. The ball is going to move out into the right chest. Now I have my legs bent up behind me simply because I have a wall behind me. You can keep your legs down on the ground straight. And from here, just breathe. Feel free to let the chin move forward onto the ball and relax. Arm is just palms facing down, arm is reaching out long. Ball is pressing the chest back, but we're even. And breathe. Again, think about drawing air into the lungs and imagining that you can drive it right into the ball. So as you inhale, chest expands into the ball. As you exhale, body sinks even more. After doing these routines, do not be surprised. Your chest may easily be tender tomorrow. Most people, like I said, have had no contact to this area. This tissue hasn't been moved. It hasn't been touched. So when you wake up tomorrow morning and you go, my gosh, you feel like somebody kicked you in the chest, it is okay. It will go away. It is not going to stay, okay? But know that we are bringing life into this area of your body. So do not be surprised if this area is tender. If this is so painful for you right now, please hit pause and go and deflate some air out of this ball, okay? Even a well-inflated gold ball, for some people, this is too much. I want you to be able to breathe and relax into this. From here, we're gonna shift to the left. Ball comes out into the shoulder and breathe. Again, we're just keeping our both hip points are down on the ground, torso is straight to the ground, right? Head can relax down, right? We don't have to keep the head up. If you have another ball nearby, great. You can rest your head on that. It's always a great idea to have your other balls around when you're rolling. You never know when you're going to want another ball around just for support. So if you have a blanket around or anything else like that, it helps take the tension out. Feel free to just release into that. I'm reaching through here, creating length. I'm going to shift again to the left. From here, we're really going to let the ball pin the shoulder open, and we are going to start to rotate away from the ball, right? So ball is in front of our right shoulder. We're going to start to rotate to the left. Let me show you what you don't want to do. When I go to rotate, don't let the shoulder come with you, okay? Don't let the shoulder hike up and roll with you. Use the ball to anchor the shoulder away. Feel that spiral in the torso all the way from the body and start to rotate away. Press into the left hand. Right arm stays long. Right shoulder stays back. And not only does it stay back, it stays away from the ear, right? So we've got length through the torso. We're twisting away from the ball. For some of you, you may even be able to continue to twist all the way around, right? Here I am on my right hip. Chest is still open. Breathe. And then from here, start to unwind the lower body, unwind the torso, come back to the front. Go ahead and shift back to midline. And let's take a break and come off the ball. So we're gonna go ahead and come on up. Now for me, I can see even sitting back this far, after I've done this routine, you can see that my shoulders look like they're in 2 different zip codes, okay? So that lets me know how much gripping, right, I have in the front of my body that's keeping my shoulder kind of hiked up and in the front. So if I were to turn sideways, you would be able to see that not only is this shoulder now dropped from my ear, it's also back in space now, right? It is now naturally, my entire shoulder is starting to drift back where it needs to be, right? So for me, most of the day, this shoulder is cramped forward, right? From me reaching forward all day. After doing that routine, my shoulder is back in the joint space where it should be able to move a lot more freely, a lot more comfortably. So just feel that difference from one side to the other. Again, if you're like me, you feel like this whole side's just kind of like flowing and kind of rolling off, and this side's just like barking at you, like, come on, let's do the other side. So let's do the other side. We're gonna roll through the other side of our chest. Again, we're gonna start out by coming onto the sternum. Sternum is also known as our breastbone. We're gonna come onto the ball. The ball is gonna be between breast tissue and collarbone. So we're gonna settle back in here for a moment. Again, legs can just be straight out behind you, pubic bones on the ground, hip points are on the ground. We're gonna reach this left arm out to the side. Move over here just a little bit, and then we're gonna shift the body over to the right. As we shift the body to the right, the ball moves out into the left chest wall. Just breathe. You don't have to sink at an angle or twist away or anything. Just let yourself sink straight down. By letting yourself sink straight down, the ball will start to guide the left shoulder back. You don't have to force any of this, right? Just release, right? Chin can release down to the ball. Again, if you have anything nearby and you want to support your head, go right ahead and do so. For me, I'm just going to keep a neutral neck here. This feels fine. And breathe. With every inhale, feel the rib cage expand 360 degrees, right? Every direction with every exhale. Let it come naturally. Let the body sink. All of your breathing during this work can be nasal breathing. We want to keep the pace of the breath nice and slow, right? Take this opportunity to not only be improving your body, but to be improving the quality of your breath, right? Your breath is the key to being able to manipulate and settle down your nervous system. Slow down your breath, calm down your nerves. From here, let's shift our body over to the right. Ball moves further out to the chest. And breathe, right? Ball's in front of my shoulder. Body's just sinking. I had my black ball rolled away from me. If it hadn't, I probably would just release my head forward on that. Again, but feel free just to keep the head neutral. Breathe and let the ball push the shoulder back. If you're not out onto the shoulder joint, go ahead and get there. From here, we're going to do this twist. Again, let the ball be the anchor on your shoulder. Let the ball grip the shoulder and keep it pinned back as you press into your right hand and start to rotate away from the left shoulder. Again, maybe for you, it's just this, and that's fine, right? For plenty of people, you're going to feel a stretch here. If you don't feel much, you can continue on, right? And this includes even going ahead and moving onto this left hip, right? So if you can see back here, my legs are stacked. I've got my left hip on the ground. My body is completely twisted away from my arm, but still I'm reaching through these left fingers over here. Don't let this arm follow your body, right? Let the ball be the thing that helps your shoulder resist rotating with you. Keep length through the spine, right? Keep reaching through the crown of the head. Breathe into the ball. Exhale and sink into the ball. Inhale and exhale. And go ahead and start to unwind out of the twist. And come back to center. Take a few breaths here. And as you're ready, go ahead and come off the ball. Sit up and take a few breaths. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit more even, right? Things are feeling expanded. Bring your arms up over your head. Feel the range that you have in your shoulders and breathe. Good. So the last routine that we're going to do is going to go through the neck and through the side of the neck. We're going to start this routine where our collarbone meets our sternum. So again, if we feel between the tissues, we feel the chest, feel the clavicles, collarbones. Come out here to the side. We're going to feel kind of two little knobby points right here where our collarbones meet our sternum. This is where we're going to start. We're going to be rolling through a muscle called the sternocleidomastoid, which is easy to remember. It's going to attach from our sternum, our clavicle, and it's going to connect to our mastoid. So our mastoid process is this bone that we can feel right here behind our ear, right? So this muscle has two origins, one insertion, right? So it's coming from 2 points and attaching up here at the top. We're going to start at the bottom and roll in this direction, right? This muscle helps turn our head and flex. A lot of people build a lot of tension here in these muscles. So we're not only going to get this muscle, but you'll be able to, when you're using the ball, actually feel the ball grip this muscle as you turn your head and move it. So we're going to be starting with the ball here. The gold ball is so large that we're actually able to make connection with all these points all at the same time. But I am going to have you go ahead and roll onto your side, which is going to help not only release this SCM muscle, but it's also going to help anchor the trap away from the ear. So one thing that I want to show you this from a couple different angles before you try to do this. I think I'm going to show you this from the front, but let me show you this transition from the side. So we're going to be having the ball here in this muscle. We're going to start to rotate our body. As we rotate our body, just in case you can't see it in this other image, my arm is going to start to sneak through. Okay, so we'll be starting here, but as we turn, I'm going to sneak this arm through here. Okay, once this arm is here, I'm going to be on my side. The arm is pretty much pinned underneath my body, and through or even in front is fine. When we get into this position, I'm going to push through my feet and through my knees. I'm going to push myself up in this direction. You can see when I do that it starts to bring the ball down into the top of the shoulder and creates a ton of length. So you'll know when we get to this point, but I just wanted you to be able to see when I say turn and sneak your arm underneath your body, that it's clear what we're going to be doing. So we'll go through the right side first. You're going to go ahead and come down onto the ball, just in the same way that we have for the last routine. So we're going to go ahead and come here. We're going to start the ball to the right side. So we don't want to come straight down in the middle of our neck, right? That's going to hit our Adam's apple or hit right at our windpipe. It's not going to feel good. It's not uncommon though, as we start to roll through the sides, for you to get a sensation like you need to cough, and that's fine. Just bring the ball a little bit further out to the side. So we're going to come down onto the ball. We're going to be on the right side. Ball's making contact with the top of the collarbone. ball is going to be making contact with the jaw. We're just going to sit here and start to release. Just breathe. So right now, for me, I mean, the ball is starting to make a contact with that mastoid process, but you can see the angle of my face. I'm not really turned too much to the side, right? I'm turned to the side. Ball is still making contact with the collarbone. It's making contact not only with this point behind my ear, it's also making contact with the jaw. If you have any sort of TMJ or jaw tension, you are probably going to start feeling that already. Just let it release, right? Let that pressure go into the jaw and just let it release. From here, I'm going to start to turn the head a little bit more. I'm also going to keep some traction on the ball. So what you'll see is I'm going to take the ball and actually traction it towards the back of my head as I turn my neck. I've turned my neck a little bit more. I have been facing down to the ground. I'm going to start to rotate my entire body to my left side. So I'm on the right side of my neck, but I'm rotating my entire body to the left side. This is where I'm starting to rotate and sneak this right arm underneath. Once I'm here, I'm just gonna sink, okay? For some people, if you don't feel much, I think most people will, but if you don't, you can even place a hand on your head and let your head, just weight your head down over the ball. Just breathe here. And then to get a deeper release into these upper traps, push your weight from your feet towards your head. So you're gonna take your entire body, push your body weight towards your head, towards the direction of the ball. Because the ball is on top of the shoulder, it is going to push the shoulder down, away from the right ear, and just breathe here. You should be getting a great stretch in your trap, a nice release in the side of the neck, possibly release in the jaw. From here, we're going to wind ourselves back around. So this right arm's going to sneak back out from underneath us. We're going to roll back through the side of the neck and come back where we started. And from here, go ahead and come off the ball. So this is a major area of tension for me. I can't tell you how many times I've done this routine over the years. It is, again, one of those areas, very common to go in, have a massage therapist really get in there and dig through those muscles in the back of the neck, only to leave all the tension in the front of the neck alone. This is a sensitive spot. It's kind of scary for people to work in here. Again, you can sometimes get the sensation that you're choking or you can't breathe. It is hard to work in this part of the body. But again, with these balls, because you are in control over it, it's not such an intimidating or difficult thing to do. So we're going to finish up by doing the other side. So again, we're going to come forward. Ball is going to come to the collarbone, coming right off that connection of the collarbone and the sternum. We are simply going to turn our head just slightly to the side so that we're not coming down onto the windpipe or right down to the center of the neck. And right here, we're just going to sink. Again, entire body is just released onto the floor. Just relax and breathe. Again, ball's probably already making contact with the jaw. We're going to rotate just slightly and take the ball. You see my right hand? My right hand is now going to push the ball towards the back side of my body. Okay, that's going to get that traction to where it's really going to make contact with that mastoid process or that bone behind my ear. Right, this is the direction we want this muscle to release. I'm going to start to rotate my body. Left hand is sneaking underneath the body, right? So my left hand is now under my body, And in fact, slightly in front. I'm on my left hip. When I'm on my left hip, I'm going to take this right leg, I'm going to put this right foot on the ground, and I'm going to push my entire body up in the direction of the ball. The ball is now anchoring my left shoulder down. My neck is lengthening. So I'll turn so you can see me from the side here. Right, left arm is underneath the body. Again, I can get more length or kind of more weight by just letting my hand rest on my head, right? I'm not jamming it down into the ground, right? It's just kind of weighting it down just a little bit. Just breathing here. I'm going to rotate and come back out of this position. So I'm rolling. I'm going to bring this arm back around. Slowly bringing my hips back down to the ground, letting my neck unwind. Coming back to where I started. And from here, coming off the ball. Right, so today we did the sideline, right? Up through the side of the ribs, released a little bit of the top of the arms. Then we moved through the chest routine with the twist, right? Don't forget with that chest routine, you may have some soreness in your chest. And then this last routine, we worked through the sternocleidomastoid or the front of the neck, and then also did a trap release. Here at the end of this video, I am just gonna do simple back routine just to kind of work everything through. Again, if you have already done the back routine or do not want to kind of stick around for that, then this concludes new material for this video. So, but I'm going to complete this with just rolling up the spine. So I'm going to continue with my gold ball, and I'm just going to start from my sacrum. So again, with back routine, we always want to kind of start at the back of our space so that we have enough room to move forward. So I'm going to be going right up the center. So for basic back routine, I'm just settling in here. Ball is at my sacrum. Body is aligned and forward. Just going to start to sink into the ball. From here, I'm going to pick up the hips, shift them forward. Ball's just above the sacrum, right where the sacrum meets the lower back. Again, arms can be here for support. Arms can be down by your side, one hand, or you can just simply use your core to stay connected here. Sometimes after all this movement in the front and side of the body, when it's kind of like we're completing things by lengthening the back, right? We've probably found some newfound length in the sides and in the front, and we want to kind of maximize kind of all that gain or all that space that we can get. So from here, we're going to shift the hips forward. It's not unusual after doing those kind of releases that when you do the back routine that you may feel some things kind of clunk into space, or you may get some pops or some new sensations after doing those routines. You may find that you want to go ahead and support your neck, right? We just released the front of this hardworking neck, right? All day long, we're like crunched forward, looking at phones. We need to release the front of the neck. Again, from here, shifting the hips forward, moving up between the shoulder blades. Find some length here, right? Don't fall back over the ball. Continue to keep some awareness through the front of the body, length through the spine. From here, shifting forward, ball comes up between the shoulder blades. Head is supported by the hands. Sacrum nice and heavy into the floor. Again, from here, shifting forward. For me, the ball at this point is making contact with the back of the head. Once I've got the ball to the back of the skull, then I know that it's safe to go ahead and bring my arms down if I want to. So I'm just going to be right here. Again, I'm not pressing into the ball. I'm just letting the head rest into the ball. The chin is starting to naturally tuck as the ball presses on the back of the head. From here, I can release both my shoulders down and reach my arms long. Taking nice, long, deep breaths through the nose, letting the abdomen fill, and letting it release on the exhale. From here, go ahead and shift forward one more time. Let the chin tuck in. If you're on a slippery surface, you may need to hold the ball so that it doesn't shoot out from behind the head. From here, go ahead and release the ball. Just let the head rest back on the floor. This is a great time just to extend the legs, extend the arms, and just take a minute or two to breathe here and just let everything kind of just integrate and sort its way out. Be mindful of where your shoulders are. Have they snuck back up to your ears? Just drop them down and away. Let your shoulder blades and shoulders feel heavy into the ground. Let your palms face the sky. If you've been methodically breathing or really putting effort into your breath, just let that go. Just let your breath come naturally. Taking a few more moments here to breathe. And as you're ready, start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Go ahead and bring your knees up and roll over to your left or right side. From here, using your hands, press yourself up into sitting, right? Don't strain your back or your core sitting up at this point. And come up into a comfortable cross-legged position. And thank you for joining me on rolling through the upper body.